In this lesson, we want to distinguish between rational and irrational numbers. We start with a table of squares, cubes, and fourths. This will make our work easier. Notice here is the base number. We have x squareds, each of the number over an x value squared. Here we have them raised to the third power and to the fourth power. So we're going to look for these key red values when squares, the key purple values when cubes, and the key blue values when raised to the fourth power. Roots of whole numbers are said to be rational if we can find an exact answer from the table above or from our calculator. Now please notice, if we were going to take the square root of 81, the answer would be 9. It would be rational. If we had the square root of 80, it doesn't come out evenly, so it would be irrational. Roots are irrational if they do not come out evenly and can only be approximated by rounding. So for the following problem, let's determine if they are rational or irrational. If we start with the square root of 95, if you look up at 95 above, notice 95 is not either 9 or 10, so it's going to be irrational. However, we have to be careful. If we pick up our calculator and find out the square root of 95, my calculator, for example, says 9.746794,345. However, what the calculator doesn't tell you is that's an approximation. It's not exact. So we say that this number will be irrational. I use the symbol similar to show that it's an approximation. The square root of 64, on the other hand, notice if we look above at our table, 64 is here, therefore 8 is the answer. So the square root of 64 is 8, and we're going to say this is a rational number because it comes out evenly. Let's take something like the square root of 4 over 25. We can break this into two parts. The square root of 4 over the square root of 25. The square root of 4 is 2 times 2 equals 4, and 5 times 5. So our answer is 2/5. So we're going to say this is rational. Notice we also could have changed this into a decimal. 4 over 25 turns out to be 0.16, and if you take the square root of 0.16, you get 0.4. Finally, we have the square root of 3 divided by 11. If we put this into our calculator, by the way, in our calculator, it's important that when you do this, you take 3 divided by 11 in parentheses. If you leave off the parentheses, your answer will not be accurate. Once again, my calculator tells me the answer is 0.5222. 329,679. By the way, I think 3 digits is probably sufficient, but notice this is not an exact answer. The calculator does not tell you that this number is irrational. It does not, in fact, come out evenly.